guys, welcome back to Whiskey Dixon. I'm Sugarbear. Got my buddy Troy here with me again today.
How's it going?
And we're reviewing Old Tub. Now, this is a whiskey that before this year, you could only get this at the gift shop at the Jim Beam Distillery. This comes from Jim Beam. It's their oldest recipe, and they only sold it in pints at the gift shop up until this year. This is actually the first nationwide release of this bourbon that they've ever done. It's a 100 proof bourbon, bottled in bond, so that means that it's aged at least 4 years. It was made in one distilling season, and then it was aged under government supervision in a bonded warehouse. This is an interesting bourbon. On the nose, you would not think it's 100 proof. There's not really even a whole lot of smell. It's almost...
It's kind of corky.
It's very approachable. A little corky. There's a bit of like a cork cardboard note. And that's really kind of in all Jim Beam whiskey. They all seem to share this similar note. That's kind of like their signature flavor, if you will.
Right.
But with this one, it's a very grain-forward bourbon. So yeah, on the... See, the palate is a lot more lively though, but the oak is almost there as like a backbone. It's really just some gentle oak spice kind of weaving its way through. There's definitely like a orange oil, or like an orange zest, like orange peel. And then I'm even getting like a sunflower seed note out of this, which I've never smelled in a whiskey, I don't think.
I don't know why, it reminds me of drinking tea for some reason. Just with a real bite to it.
A little, like Good Earth tea. I don't know if you've had that one that kind of... It's like a zesty one, if you will. Yeah, for 100 proof, that goes down like nothing. I mean, it's really smooth. And what's interesting, the reason it's called Old Tub is because this is such an old recipe that back when the Jim Beam Distillery was... yeah, we're talking, what, like 200 years ago, something like that. They weren't able to mass produce glass bottles yet. So what they would do, people would just bring like clay jugs or old tubs or just any container really to the distillery, and they would just fill it up for you with like a gas pump. And
it's kind of like how they do with the growlers at
it's exactly how they do growlers at breweries, but whiskey. So if you could imagine just showing up with your clay jug with the 3 X's on it at Jim Beam and just being like, fill her up. That's what people did back then. So yeah, it's just a neat piece of whiskey history. Unfortunately, it's a one-time release. I was hoping this was going to be like a new staple from them, because for the price, this is like 30 bucks. And really, you know, you're not going to find a lot of good 100 proof bottled in bond bourbons around that price. Normally, nowadays, you're paying a lot more for stuff like that. So this is completely unfiltered too. This is like straight from the barrel. They just screen it to make sure there's no actual chunks of wood in it, but other than that, it's completely unfiltered. So, yeah, this is like during winter, fall and winter. This is going to be really. This tastes like a good like cold weather, rainy whiskey.
That's a shame they're not going to continue it though.
Well, hoard it while you can, I guess, because yeah, might not see it again. You might have to go to the Jim Beam gift shop and buy yourself a bunch of pints, because that's the only other way they sell this. Yeah, well, I guess that about wraps it up. You got anything else you want to say about this Old Tub here?
It's damn good for a 50.
It's not a crazily complex bourbon. It's not a very oaky bourbon.
For a 100 proof, super smooth.
Yeah, this is like just an everyday drinker. This is just easy, relatively cheap. This is on kind of the lower end of the bourbon. I mean, you could spend a lot more on bourbons that aren't this good. So I'd say this is a great value bourbon. Well, I guess that about wraps it up. So thanks for joining us. I'm Sugarbear.
I'm Troy.
And we'll see you next time. Cheers. Keep on drinking.